Hey guys, and welcome to another Armoured Warfare video here on my channel. Now we're going to be taking a look at one of the brand new collector's tanks in Armoured Warfare, the Tier 8 premium main battle tank, the Challenger 1 Falcon. Now the Challenger 1 Falcon is basically, it's a Jordanian upgrade project to their sort of aging fleet of Challenger 1 main battle tanks, and they fitted it with this kind of bizarre phallic looking auto-loading turret, which was designed to house this 120mm gun that it's actually got now. The actual hull is, it's a Challenger 1 hull, so you get everything you expect from a Challenger 1. Ridiculous armour, which is, 550 at the front, 589 at the front of the turret as well, so it is very, very strong. As you can see, we're bouncing on only autocannons right now, but the M1 might take an interest in this. There we go, we bounced the Thunderbolt already. Naturally, this is a Challenger at the end of the day. It's a Challenger series, so the armour on this thing is pretty fantastic. But it also comes with the same weak spots as all the Challengers. The driver's hatch right there. You can hit the turret ring, that was the word I'm looking for. It's a ridiculously difficult shot to make, and you only do like half damage, but you can do that. And the turret, because it's an auto-loading turret, much like things like the expeditionary tanks at Tier 6, where it is just a completely unmanned turret, you only do half damage down the entirety of the turret. Even though that the turret is pretty much 400 and something millimeters thick the entire way down the turret, which is, that's pretty decent, but you've got to be very careful if you have your turret slightly or angled slightly too much. You can have a shot put straight through, which I believe I think I did. Unfortunately, I've been tracked in a very awkward spot. Hopefully, nope. We are taking a lot of damage here because I am very far forward. I think the rest of my main battle tanks are sat back there sniping, which, yes, they are. Yep, the T-80, the Leopard back there. Both of the T-80s are back there camping. Which is fine, it's each their own playstyle, but it does mean that I take quite a bit more damage than usual because I get attacked from many different sides. Now, I actually had planned some PvP footage for you guys today, but unfortunately I sat in the queue for an hour today, didn't get it. Well, I got a match after an hour. In fact, I got 2 matches after an hour, and both of them were over in 5 minutes because my team couldn't work out how to press W. So, that was a bit unfortunate, really. So now you can see the rankers coming in. Shows how strong the side armor of the Challenger 1 is, and the Falcon, obviously, because this is the same chassis. But as you can see, we're also pushing out the damage. Now this is, as I said, it's a 120mm gun. It is actually one of the worst guns of its tier, in all honesty. Like, a lot of people will talk about the gun and think it's okay, but it is one of the worst guns of its tier. And that is because of its ridiculously long aim time of 3 seconds, just over 3 seconds. It's got the accuracy, which is one of the worst in its tier. The damage at 515 per shot is one of the worst of its tier, as is the penetration. So, it's not a particularly strong gun. In all honesty, it will get the job done. I'm not going to deny that, but it is not a very strong gun. In terms of accuracy, in terms of damage, even the, I think the only one that's worse in accuracy is the T-80's gun. Or the T-90 even, sorry, at tier 8. So, it is definitely not a great gun. Not sure where that went through, to be honest. That might have gone into the driver's hatch. The AI seems to be pretty accurate at aiming for weak spots now. It's like, don't get me wrong, the gun is, it's accurate enough to do the job, as you can see. I barely aimed at the BMP3. There we go, barely aimed again. and we still managed to get the killing blow. The reload is actually one of the best of its tier, actually. Like, in terms of damage output, it's pretty decent because it can fire fairly often. So that's not too bad at all. But pairing a decent body with a reasonably good gun is something that the Challenger series is kind of known for, really. Like, the Challenger's guns are not the strongest in their tier, and they haven't been. I mean, to be honest, every single Challenger is exactly that way. It's all about the armor with the Challenger series. It will get the job done, but it might not do it particularly as quickly as something else. But it will take less damage to do it. So I was aiming for the rear of the turret of that Leo. It didn't manage to hit it. Unfortunately, that was that sort of lower than average pen kind of messing me around there, really. I'm not really taking any hits right now, so I mean that's not too bad. I've taken a lot of damage so far, but I am planning a little bit later on doing something on attacking one of the secondary objectives, which gets a bit mental, so you'll get to really see the frontal armor then. But to be honest, I mean, the gun itself, it's got decent gun depression as well. I forgot to mention the gun depression there. It's pretty decent. It's -7 degrees, so I mean that's pretty reasonable. So you don't have to worry too much about the about little slopes and things like you do on some vehicles. So you can see there. I mean that's aimed down for a main battle tank, but it's aimed down pretty reasonably. I'm going to activate the Jesus kit. Give us some more ammo. Give us some more health. Get the repair going as well. I just noticed my ammo rack was damaged, so let's make sure that we don't get ammo racks. You can see we've taken a ridiculous amount of shots during this game. A ridiculous amount. So we're going to go up here. We're going to go try and get as hull down as we can, which you can do reasonably here.
Identify target. Hostile PC.
I mean, it's not the best hold down position. In fact, it's not a very good hold down position at all. This is not an area of the map I often go to be honest. So, but let's carry on driving at this type. As you can see, he's struggling to get through my armor. I'm over-angled at the moment, I think. Nope, we should be okay. The other thing this is actually reasonably good at is firing on the move. Which is a bit of a strange one. It seems to be fairly accurate while firing on the move compared to everything else. So we're in the cap circle now. We're just here to take the hits. I do want to try and go for that secondary objective. In fact, the secondary objective's already been done. I think the T-80's already done it, which is fantastic. Put another shot into the rear of the Abrams. So we're already on 18,000 damage, which is pretty reasonable. Let's keep the gun firing. This is one of the things that I think people I think they overthink things in PvE. Like, just keep the gun firing. Like, it's not that hard to do well in PvE. Just as long as you keep the gun firing as often as you can. So you can see, I was barely aimed on that. Let's quickly turn because of that Bradley, which appears to be giving our Leopard some problems. There's a Challenger 2 behind us, but I think our T-80 can deal with that. Side armor of the Challenger 2, or Challenger 1 even. Obviously, it was basically this. So, there's the frontal driver's hatch, as I was talking about earlier. Can't really hit it from here. If he turns towards me, then I could, but he's not going to. The other Challenger 2 is coming this way. And he might even be aiming this way. Oh, he was. I got a very lucky bounce there. And as you can see, dead center is where the weak spot is for the driver's hatch. And that is where everyone's going to aim. Like, it's a very, very obvious, very easy to pen weak spot. Even at range, you can basically guess, because it's very easy to sort of guess where it is on a Challenger. So I took a lot of damage very early on. However, because I had the full... Oh, that ammo rack. The full repair on the Challenger, it means that I can basically sit in the cap circle and be eyes for the rest of my team. Like, all of the guys in the cap circle that have taken damage, I don't know where that went. Let's go for the ram kill. Got him. Shoot the T80 as well. So I'm just here providing eyes, spotting for my team, giving them damage. I guess I'll track him. I'll track the T80 for someone else to finish off. Challenger 280 DU, the tier 10 big brother of this thing. That thing might pen this fairly, or should pen this fairly easily, although it's shot bizarrely wide. There's an M8 Thunderbolt coming up behind as well. Keep the front towards the ATDU, put some damage into the Thunderbolt. I mean, even the ATDU, as you can see, isn't penning this right now. Not without the use of the frontal weak spot. Because of the color blindness, I'm not particularly good at pixel hunting. That was a big hit on the side, and that's the victory. So, one thing I didn't really talk about with this thing was, do I think it's worth it? And honestly, I'm going to say no. It's too expensive. It's basically a $50 tank. And that is, if you're a fan of World of Tanks, that is wargaming levels of expense. And that is one thing that Armoured Warfare promised they would never do. And I just don't get it. The player base at the moment is dropping. It is dwindling. And I don't think that bringing in $50 tanks, $100 packages for 2 premium tanks is the way forward. Is it a good tank? I mean, okay, it's going to earn you some money. I mean, we got, what, 12,000 XP there. We got 373,000 credits. It's a decent little earner, but do I think it's worth it in the grand scheme of things? Honestly, no, not really. I can't justify the expense of it, and to be honest, if I hadn't have been given the tank to review, I probably wouldn't have bought it. In fact, I definitely wouldn't have bought it. And I definitely wouldn't have bought the next one I'm going to review, which is the M60 2000. But this is the Challenger 1 Falcon. Like, ignoring the rest of the, do I think it's worth it, do I agree with the pricing and stuff, let's ignore all of that. Is the tank itself good? Yes it is. People haven't really figured out what to do against this in PvP just yet. People haven't worked out that it is just a Challenger 1 body. It is a tier 7 hull in a tier 8 game, which means it can face tier 10s. But people haven't worked out where the weak spot is, which is obviously that driver's hatch. Even though that is pretty much the only weak spot of the Falcon, people still haven't quite worked that out yet. It's a decent tank, and you will be able to perform pretty damn decently in it. But the gun is on the weak side, and to be honest, that is a feature of the Challenger series, and it's something you're going to have to get used to from the Falcon, the Challenger 1, 2, and the ATDU. But as you can see, in terms of looking at the post-battle results, we got 25,000 damage, 34,000 spotting damage. As I said, I was just going in there, I was using the frontal armour to be effectively a very, very heavy scout. So it is definitely something you can do in PvE. I tried spearheading a few times on PvP. Unfortunately, because of the way PvP works, your teammates will never go with you. So you've got to be very, very careful when doing that. You can do it against lower tiers. However, of equal tier, they are going to pen you pretty easily. So, but yeah, 35,000 spotting damage, 25,000 damage. We got a platinum supply crate from this one, so it's definitely very, very good. Top damage, top XP by a long, long way. So yeah, it's a solid tank. It's not outstanding in any real way, apart from its armor. It's a very strong, tanky little thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the look at the Challenger 1 Falcon. I will be taking a look at the M60 2000, which is down here at tier 7. It's a weird looking thing, but is it actually any good? We'll find out in the next episode. And as always, I shall catch you in that next video.